18 Hollyoaks spoilers next week. Next week on Hollyoaks, Juliet gets devastating news about her health, while Ste and James prepare to tie the knot and Zoe makes a big decision. Here's a full collection of the biggest moments coming up. Peri is preparing the house in preparation for Juliet getting out of hospital, but James and Leela don't want her to get her hopes up. When Peri visits Juliet later on, they attempt to manifest good news but are interrupted, and this appears to be the case when Juliet's doctor tells her she's clear from Rovirus and can go home. However, their happiness is short-lived when the doctor informs them that Juliet's kidney function hasn't improved like they hoped. Rain and Romeo want to add their own touch in making the Lomax home extra special for Juliet. But instead they're left feeling hurt as Donna Marie kicks them out. Rain doesn't want Romeo's family to dislike her any more than they already do. And sick of the tension, she gives her boyfriend until James' wedding to sort the divide out. Sam tells Zoe they need to search the garage for drugs, but without any real cause for concern, she's unable to investigate further. Sam is determined to give Zoe the evidence she needs and heads back to Warren's wheels. While he's there, Sam records himself doing a routine check in the empty vicinity and stumbles across the narcotics. Warren and Norma turn up, leaving Sam to hide, but he is caught out when Warren sees him. Zoe is suffering with nausea, which is made worse with a call from the garage owner. After coming to Sam's rescue, Zoe decides she can't put up with his recent behavior and is fed up of continuously bailing him out. With this in mind, Zoe decides to end their relationship, leaving Sam devastated. Norma knows she can't continue to let Warren worry about her safety. Backed into a corner, Norma tells Warren that she wasn't really attacked but didn't want to seem weak by admitting she had tripped over. Trust issues are beginning to appear in Sienna and Ethan's relationship. Dave admits that Ethan had nothing to do with the drugs and they were simply left behind by the girls they met. Can the couple work through their problems? Lizzie is concerned at the recent state her dad has been in and reaches out to Sam for help. Sam is still struggling with their family's recent split and puts his priorities towards saving his relationship instead. Knowing Dave needs his family more than ever right now, Lizzie refuses to give in. She turns to Ethan and Sienna for support, while simultaneously reminding the couple to not let Dave come in between them. Peri is struggling to come to terms with the news Juliet received at the hospital. Wanting to focus on something positive, Juliet turns to her brother and persuades Romeo to throw a party with all their friends. As long as none of them have an infection. Peri is concerned at the thought of Juliet attending a party, but is talked around when her girlfriend tells her how much it means to her to just have some fun. Romeo texts James asking for a truce. Happy that his son will now be at the wedding, James and Ste look forward to tying the knot. Maxine offers to help a smitten Beau plan an end-of-term prom for Hollyoaks High in return for him teaching Minnie how to play the drum. Beau goes over to Maxine's flat to give Minnie the lesson, and as promised, Maxine shares her ideas, as they grow closer. Ste and James reveal what they have planned for each other's stag parties. Having been distracted with Eric and Juliet's health, James has forgotten to arrange anything as planned. Not knowing where to start, James needs the help of reinforcements and calls Sienna. At the loft, James' wine and cheese tasting night isn't what he envisioned, and after some wise words from Juliet, he goes to join Ste instead. With both stags at the dog, Scott gets the game started, but when James fails to get any questions right about Ste, things get tense. Darren is pleased to see the recent improvement from Charlie and his focus towards his exams. When Charlie thanks Xinglin for helping him with his revision, his family wonder if there's more than revising going on between them. Charlie later opens up to Darren about how he's been struggling with his exams and how he hasn't wanted to burden him. Afterwards, Jack offers Darren some fatherly advice, which inspires an idea. Maxine is throwing herself into helping Beau to distract her from the memory of her last visit with Eric. Xinglin is excited to hear about the gig they're planning for the school, but her enthusiasm at the prospect of it is quickly shattered when Beau informs them that the head teacher doesn't think it's a good time for it. Maxine later finds a way in which Beau might be able to convince the head teacher to let the school have the gig they planned. Ste is nowhere to be found on the morning of his wedding day. When Lucas mentions a text message he received the previous night from his dad, a hungover Tony has his memory jogged on where he left the groom to be. Ste is later reunited with James and opens up about his concerns that marriage will change them. Wanting to prove he's willing to compromise for his love, James comes up with a plan. With minutes to spare before the ceremony, Sienna tries to keep the wedding party occupied with a game of charades. Thankfully, the taxi pulls up just in time, revealing the couple have swapped clothes and James is in a rainbow-colored tracksuit to tie the knot in. With all the guests enjoying the perfect day, James and Juliet share a special moment on the dance floor together. However, tragedy strikes when an exhausted Juliet later collapses. Scott tries to cheer up Maxine, who is hurt after Beau dodged her kiss. Scott ends up with cake all over him when he accidentally sticks his hand into the wedding cake as he confronts Beau. Beau tells Scott that he was concerned Maxine might not be ready for a relationship after everything she's been through. Scott reminds Beau of how strong Maxine is, and how if he likes her then he needs to be honest with her. Charlie asks Shinglin to come over to help with his geography revision. Darren walks in on them about to kiss and they're quickly sent downstairs so they can be kept under supervision. Wanting to make sure Charlie and Shinglin don't do anything they regret, Darren tries to give them a talk on the female reproductive system. Once alone with Charlie, Darren tells him that Morgan's surgery has been moved forward to Monday and he feels helpless being so far away. Hollyoaks streams first online via Channel 4, with new episodes dropping each weekday morning. The show airs Mondays to Fridays at 6:30 p.m. on Channel 4, and at 7 p.m. on E4. Read more Hollyoaks spoilers on our dedicated homepage. You might also like Animal Crossing New Horizons is finally announced on Nintendo Switch. How to watch Amazon Prime on your TV, smartphone and tablet, and enjoy Good Omens online. Nintendo to release 2 new Switch consoles this year.